So this is the second half of chat number 124, and it is titled When to Take a Weight Loss Break. So in the first half, we were talking about how important it is to intentionally sometimes take a weight loss break, because it is a statistical fact that people who lose weight, maintain, lose weight, maintain, lose weight, maintain, they do better or more apt to keep their weight off long term than people who just go whoosh, and just lose it really fast. So in the first half, we were just talking in broad generalities, about taking a weight loss break. Last year, and I did not look up the chat number, sorry, but last year when we talked about this, when we had the same topic, we were talking about, it was called intentional maintenance instead of taking a weight loss break. So I don't know if they just needed to change up the term, or if people just needed to hear, that it was a break, or something like that. But I would like to say that, first of all, there's a voluntary weight loss break and an involuntary weight loss break. So a voluntary would be like this weekend. If you're in the United States, it is Memorial Day, and so you might say, hey, you know what, I'm going to be with family and friends, so I am going to voluntarily choose, I'm going to voluntarily choose to take a weight loss break, because I'm going to be with family and friends, and it's the holidays. Hello, Pam. And Andrea is doing that this week. So Andrea is in Maine, I think, with her family, and she is taking a voluntary, weight loss break where she's not worrying about losing any weight. So not worrying about losing weight is different than the free-for-all, and it's different than, so deciding, hey, I'd just like to come out of this weighing the same. If I could just maintain, if I could just stay the same weight, or just even, just gain just a little bit, I would be okay with that. But deciding not to focus on weight loss is a lot better than just, just take a little break, and deciding to not focus on weight loss is better than just going, nope, forget it, I'm walking off. I don't think any of us wants to intentionally gain any or all of our weight back, even though we do that. We accidentally do that to ourselves sometimes. So voluntary would be deciding to take some time off. Involuntary, exactly what we were talking about, heart surgery,
Memorial Day was this.
Whoops. I have no idea why Siri was talking to me. But anyway, so involuntary would be something like Kim's dad's heart surgery, or my dad being so sick, or us moving our business, and my dad being so sick, and my mom already being in the nursing home, and that was completely involuntary. Nobody signed up for that. Nobody decided to do that. Sometimes involuntary doesn't always have to be something bad, but we do need a plan for it, and I'm going to show you how to get some plans going for it. But involuntary doesn't need to always be bad. Your husband might have planned a surprise trip. 2 years ago, John planned a surprise 50th birthday celebration for me, and we went to Marineland. We went to St. Augustine and went to Marineland, Cocoa Beach actually, and went to Marineland, for a long weekend. So while I totally would have signed up for that, I would have totally volunteered for that, that was an involuntary time it was a time that I didn't have, I didn't have a way to pre-plan for that. I didn't have a time for it to be voluntary. So I always have to have emergency planning. I have to have an emergency action plan. So it's just like everything else in your life, and it doesn't have to be sad. It doesn't have to be a sad thing like a surgery or a death, or, like the tornadoes right now, it doesn't have to be a sad thing. It could be a happy thing, but there's two different ways to plan. So for a voluntary versus an involuntary. So if it's a voluntary break from your weight loss, you do still need to make a plan. So you need to know, okay, so is this for maintenance? Is it for maintenance? Like, am I reaching goal? Am I at goal? Is this for maintenance? Because you need to make a plan, of what you're going to do. If it is, short term, you may need to make a different plan. If it's, and you need to change your app, which I'll show you how to do in just a second, but you still need to track. If it's voluntary, even if it's voluntary, you still need to track, okay? If it's involuntary, you already need to have your emergency action plan in place. So if you don't have your emergency action plan in place right now, you're already too late. I'm just kidding. You can do it right now. So let's talk about involuntary first. Involuntary, have your action plan, have some things prepared, have an emergency kit, you know, just like you would have for your house, or like people who, okay, so the people that are in the tornado area right now, those of you who are used to being in tornado areas, you wouldn't dream of not having flashlights, you wouldn't dream of not having batteries ready, you wouldn't dream of not having bottled water, some foods that are non-perishable, you know, a place to go. You would not plan, you would not dream of entering tornado season without a plan of action. This is exactly the same thing, exactly the same thing. So whether it's happy or not happy, you've got to have some things in place. I'm going to show you a couple of things that I keep. One of them I'm super excited, and this is for your emergency action plan, okay? You've got to keep some of these things in place. You have to have a plan for what happens. Hello, Stacy. So like, what happens if a parent has to go to the hospital? Do you have a bag packed? I always do. I always have a bag packed. My backpack, which is my work backpack, always has snacks in it. It always has a perishable snack that's sturdy, like an apple or a banana or a clementine or something like that. And then it'll have some assortment of the snacks behind us, just so that I have something to eat. Now, I might still choose to go off the ranch, just depending. But at least if I have something with me, I have a much better chance. I also have a phone charger packed. I don't ever want to be in a situation where my phone is going to die. I have something to do. I've got something to take notes with. I have extra change. I've got extra dollar bills, even though fewer places take money now. I know Casey always has a book, an emergency book packed with her, just in case, because until you've spent the night in ICU, you don't realize how much you need these things. But part of your food emergency plan, always have a bottle of water with you. If you can't, well, and I have my Nona bag is packed too. The Nona bag that Kim got for me is packed, and so she's got non-perishable snacks in there. She has a change of clothes. She's got diapers. She's got an empty cup and an empty bottle, and then I have the milk things for her, which I don't have one of those over here to show you, but it's Horizons milk, so that if we're out somewhere and we don't have anything, I've always got a juice something with us. I've always got a bottle of water in hers. But here are a couple of things that you can pack in your emergency one, and these will work in your voluntary plan too, but these are great for the emergency one. First of all, I was super happy to see this today. Y'all know how much we love these for camping and for going to Disney, but the Jif to go, it's 8. Here, I'll open it so you can see how big they are, in case you've never seen these before. But they have these now at every grocery store that we go to. I used to have to go to a specific store to get these, but look what they have now. So these are 8. If you eat the whole thing, it's 8. If you eat half of it, it's 4. But if you're stuck in ICU, if you're in the basement waiting on the tornado to go by, just go ahead. You might want to go ahead and eat the 8. But they have crunchy now. Crunchy. Yeah, they've only ever had creamy. Crunchy now. Super pumped about this. But this is always in my emergency pack. This is in Alyssa's pack now because she's big enough to have peanut butter. So that's always part of my emergency pack. We always have some kind of snack bars, some kind of healthier snack bars. This is one that John likes. I think these are kind of small for the points, but these are 4 smart points. And everybody will eat these. Chocolate chip, there's nobody on the planet that doesn't eat these. And you know what, in an emergency, or if you're stuck in the car, or let's say, if you get stuck in traffic, or like John and one of the guys got rerouted to New Mexico on their way to Colorado. So it was great to have a snack like this. These are 4 smart points for one. These 2, this one, the protein one, these are 2 smart points. And I looked for some of the Fiber One brownies, the 70 calorie Fiber One brownies that are just 2 points now. My store didn't have them yet. So sadness. But anyway, the protein ones are really good. They're a little bit chewy. I'll open these and show them to you too. They're a little bit chewy, so I'm not saying that in a bad way. It makes it feel like some more food because it takes you a few minutes to eat them. So they're small. See, they're not very big. They're only 2 points. They're that big. They're only 2 points, but they're a little bit chewy, so it takes you a little while to eat them. These do keep up really well. They don't melt like some of the other bars do. And then this one is from Publix, and this one is an almond cranberry flavored chia bar. This one does have 2 grams of protein. I didn't check. This one has 10 grams of protein. Remember, we were talking about protein a couple of weeks ago. And the Quaker Chewies, have one. Surprisingly, they have 1 gram of protein. But things like that are great to keep in your emergency bag. So a bottle of water, so if it's involuntary, you've got to be prepared. You have to already be prepared. And Lynn, all I can find are the 90 calorie ones too. I know. Someday we'll get the 70 calorie ones, but involuntary, you've got to already be prepared. You have to already have your bag. And I put them in a bigger Ziploc bag. So I've got gallon size Ziploc bags everywhere. And they've got all that stuff in there. So they've got hand wipes, like the ones that we take camping. They've got hand wipes, they've got sturdy fruit, they've got snack bars, they have little packs of pretzels, they've got little packs of things, and everything in there has the number on it, has the Smart Points number on it. So that is part of your emergency bag. Okay, that's for involuntary, or sometimes voluntary, because it's easier just to grab it and go. So we discussed voluntary versus involuntary. Now you've got to decide, how long is this going to be? Okay, if it's involuntary, you may not know. So I had no idea that we were going to be so overwhelmed and obsessed, consumed, whatever, for a little over 2 months. Had no idea, none. So it was involuntary and it lasted over 2 months. If it's involuntary, you're not going to know. You're not going to know how long. You just may not. You just gonna have to hope for the best, like the tornadoes. Can't believe y'all are still having tornadoes. So I would have said, like here in Tennessee, East Tennessee, that would have been like 1 evening and we would have been done for, I don't know, maybe the season, but we just don't have them like that. So if it's involuntary, you may or may not be able to decide on the, the length of time. So you may have to make some other plans. One thing that I would tell you, we're going to switch to the WW app real quick. One thing that I would tell you about your emergency plan, so do yourself a favor, go to your WW app, go down to the very bottom, restaurants, and look. I'm sorry, Casey's sending me a text message. Go to the very bottom to restaurants, and do you see here where it says Smart Points? Touch Smart Points. And see where it has 0 to 1, 2 to 4, 5 to 7, 8 to 10, and 11. So you need to be making yourself a list. So from these restaurants, because if it's an involuntary one, there is a high chance that you're going to end up eating out a lot. So if you go ahead and go, like pre-plan this, go ahead and go and find some of these. So go ahead and say, hey, you know what? If I get stuck out, if I get stuck out somewhere, I know I'm going to want something more than a 0 point food, or maybe I've already got 0 point foods in my, hello Kimberly, or I've got, 0 point foods in my bag, or already, or whatever. But go ahead and find yourself some things, that are lower points, so that you can have them in your emergency list, and things so that when you're, consumed and overwhelmed and whatever, and again, I'm not saying that it's bad, but usually that's when it is, that you can say, if somebody says, hey, I'm running to Wendy's, what do you want? You can say, just give me a small chili. It's 3 Smart Points. Or if they're going to, let's see, Chipotle, you can say a Chipotle salad bowl. It's got chicken, beans, corn, fajita veggies, and salsa. 3 Smart Points, so that And Betty's got her list on index cards. That's awesome, because I'm telling you, if you ever have to spend the night in ICU and somebody asks you what you want, fortunately the last time through, actually that one was for my mom. I had my emergency bag, I had my water, I had everything I needed, and my brother was going to go to the vending machine and get me something to eat or pass out, because that's all he knows to do. That's the only way he knows how to take care of people, is to go get them things. So when he said, what do you want? I have my list. I have my list of index cards, but I was so overwhelmed that in the moment I said, I don't know. I don't know what I want. I have no idea what I want. And thank goodness Casey already knew, and she mentally knows this. So she came back with a bag of, I think it was pretzels, a bag of pretzels and a bottle of water. My brother would have brought me Skittles and a Coke or something, that would have been his plan. Okay. So anyway, involuntary, have your emergency plan ready. Okay, voluntary, you need to decide how long this is going to be. So is it going to be short term? If it's short term, something like Memorial Day for Americans, for this Memorial Day weekend, if you're going on a short trip, if it's just going to be a family get together, if you're, whatever. So if it's going to be a short term thing, if it's just going to be like a few days to a week, a vacation, like if you're going to Disney or something like that, then short term, you need to decide If it's short term though, go ahead and decide now, when am I starting and when am I ending? So Memorial Day in the United States is tomorrow. That is one day. If you stayed up all night, it would be 24 hours. Most of us, whether we meant to or not, started our Memorial Day Friday night or Saturday. That's Saturday, Sunday, Monday. That's 3 days, not 1 day. So you need to decide if it's short term, when is it going to start and when is it going to end? And when it ends, so like let's say that it's Memorial Day, let's say that Memorial Day weekend. Let's just say the week of Memorial Day. So accountability buddy Karen is headed to the beach as we speak, and her family is going. They started packing today, so vacation started today. That started today. Well, now she's got to decide, when is it going to end? Does it end when they come home on Saturday? Does it end on Sunday? Does it end the day after they get home? Does it end on Tuesday because that's weigh-in day for us? Does it end on Wednesday because that's the day after weigh-in and that's technically the first day of our week? Does it end on June 1st? Because, well, if I've already been, for a week, then what's a couple more days, and then what's another week, whatever. Well, my gut tells me that she's going to start again. Her cutoff date is going to be Saturday, because I know her. She's cleaned out her refrigerator before they left, because she does that. She's smart like that. She's smart like that. She doesn't come home to grossness. But I know she's already cleaned out her refrigerator, so my heart says that her end day is going to be Saturday, because when she gets back on Saturday, she's going to go to the store and she's going to get right back on track. So it's going to end. So set a start date and an end date. And what's going to happen to say that's it? Because we all have family members, even some of us are the family members who will let it linger on and on and on and on and on. I'm going to suggest that if it's a short-term thing, especially like if it's vacation or if it's party, like Memorial Day, celebration or whatever, that you still try to track. Even though you're going to have some triple digits, even though you're going to have some things that you don't know how much they are, if you have a family reunion, you just have to do the bites and guesses, and we have lots and lots and lots and lots of chats prior to this one that talk about. There's one called On the Road Again. There is an eating out. I think there's 2 eating out ones. There's a snack one. There's all kinds. There's one about the index card. So you can be ready with that. I mean, there's all kinds of chats way before this one that can get you ready for this. But I would still try to track, even though you're going to have some 100-point days, even though you're going to have some days over, still try to track. Go watch some of the chats or listen to some of the chats on your headphones where we talk about guessing, like how to guess on, a bite of something, like if again, like at a family reunion or whatever. But if push comes to shove, if this is the best you can do, my philosophy, especially when we're in Disney, is 2 on, 1 off. So try to, if you don't have much control over anything, this is a short term only, try 2 meals on plan. So like when we go to Disney, we have almost 100% of the time have breakfast at the RV, at the camper. So I have control of my breakfast. I know what I'm having. I know how many points it is. We've already bought it. It's already there. It's already in the refrigerator, whatever. So that's one of my on. And then my second on is either at lunch, standing in line waiting on rides, because y'all seen my backpack one where I pack for Disney, or it's, for dinner. But I've planned for that, so 2 on track and then have 1 off track. What I will say about that is, if you do 2 on and 1 off, you are much more likely to not go berserk for the one that's off. Also, if you've had 2 that are on, the one that you're having that's off, I don't know, I feel full faster, and I feel like, oh, I need to cut off, faster. I don't tend to let myself get sick because I'm really, really bad about eating so much that I feel nauseous then later. And I've missed too many events. Not doing that anymore. But so that's for a short term one, 2 on, 1 off, and kind of keep it down. But that also lets you have, a little treat. Like there are some things there at Disney that I don't get anywhere else, like a oh, it just left me. I know what it is. Hold on. A Dole Whip. So I can't get a Dole Whip anywhere else. So I always make sure that I save a little bit of room for a Dole Whip. So anyway, 2 on, 1 off for short term. I'm going to say there's a midterm one, and a midterm is when you just need to take a break. You need to take a break from weight loss. You need to relax. You just need to take a break. So it's not a special event, but you're not at maintenance yet, but you've either been at a plateau, you've either been like this for a long time, or yeah, Debbie's exactly right. Orlando, Debbie is exactly right. 2 on and 1 off, and focus on 0-point foods also. That's a great one. But a midterm one I'm going to say is it's not short term, it's not a vacation, a holiday, a family get together, whatever, but you're not ready for maintenance, for real maintenance, but you've either been at a plateau for a long time, or you're just tired, or you know that your body's getting used to the same old. So you've either been doing this, you've either been flatlining, or you've been doing this, but it's just not going anywhere. I would suggest taking a short midterm, just going to call it midterm break, weight loss break. That is not a free-for-all. That is not I didn't just give you a card to go do whatever you want to do. That is add back a little bit of points. And when I say add back a little bit of points, okay, I'm not talking eat Skittles for supper every night. I don't know why I keep picking Skittles, but we're going to go back to the app again. On your app, you're going to go to you, which is up here. Once you go to you, find you, you're going to go to this little cog up here, the little thing, the little like cog, and then you're going to go to, hopefully you can see this, the top one under settings. It's called food settings, and the first one says, let me get over here, maybe y'all can see it better over here. Okay, so the first one says, oh come on phone, it says current focus, weight loss and healthy habits. So with the current focus of weight loss and healthy habits, my daily target is 23 smart points and my weekly target is 28. I have rollovers on because I want to roll over my extra points. Swapping, I don't swap. I personally do not swap any of my activity points. And then it says, are you nursing? I am not breastfeeding. Okay, but let me hopefully get this where y'all can see it. Okay, so right here, current focus, weight loss and healthy habits. Let me see if I can touch that. Okay, switch it to healthy habits. So that's what you would be on if you were on maintenance. And now look, my daily target went to 28. So my weekly target stayed at 28, but my daily target went to 28 instead of 23. So if you let me switch it back before I forget, because I want weight loss right now because I'm above goal. But you get 5 extra points a day when you're on maintenance. So if you are doing midterm, if you're doing a midterm break, if you just need a little break, you've been doing this, or you've been doing this and not going anywhere, taking a little break, go ahead and switch your app to the healthy habits. Healthy habits only, not weight loss. It's going to add back 5 smart points a day. You can kind of just relax a little bit. Don't relax too much. Don't go crazy, but set Melissa wants to know if you can switch in the same week or must you wait until your next week. No, you can switch in the week, but just don't switch back and forth. So like my week starts on Tuesdays. So I could switch today being Sunday, I could switch today, and today's already done. Well, it would show the 28 for today, but it would show 28 for tomorrow and 28 for Tuesday, and so on. But still track. It's going to give you 5 extra points a day so that you can just relax a little bit, so you can breathe just a little bit. This is not a free-for-all. I did not just write you a hall pass, to go do whatever you want to do. Put an end date on it. So unless this is an involuntary break, put an end date on it. So just say like when I'm having one of these kind of weeks, I'll take a break for 1 week, for 7 days. And 7 days is not 7.5 days. It's not 8 days. It's not on a week that I already know that we're going to be doing something else, because I don't ever take a break on a week that's already going to have any added stress, whether it's fun stress or bad stress. So just pick a week. I do it for 1 week. I would not do it for any more than 2 weeks. No way. Because in my opinion, 1 week, I'm full. I can get right back on the next week. 2 weeks, I'm going to start to get dicey. So I would still, name it. Name it whatever you want to call it. You don't have to call it gave up for a week or whatever. Just taking a break. Or what is it the kids say when they don't go, so like when they leave high school and now when you don't go to college immediately, what do they call a gap year? So you're going to take a gap week. So let's call it that. You're going to take a gap week. You're just going to chill. You're not going to focus on weight loss. You're just going to focus on staying the same, for that week. So take a gap week, but name it something. Put a time limit on it. Say when it's going to start and when it's going to end. Do still track. Do still weigh in. So even though you may have had a weight gain, it's okay. It is okay because you chose a gap week or a gap 2 weeks. But go ahead and weigh in, and do stay on Connect, do stay on here, do stay in all your groups, you know, stay up with everybody. You're just not worried about losing weight for that time period. Okay, then long term, if you're gonna do a long term one, long term is when you're on maintenance. So long term, the only time you should be on long term is either, I mean, something pretty dramatic would have to be going on in your life, you know, for you to do this for a long term. I'm talking more than a couple of months, you know, because mine was like a little over 2 months. You know, that I don't consider long term. That's still midterm. But for long term, that's going to be on, you're at goal and you're going to be on maintenance, or you know, like if you're going to be, I don't know, traveling somewhere where you're not going to be able to do this, you know, for like a year, like if you're going to work somewhere for a year that you can't possibly, you know, keep doing this or whatever. But for long term, you're not going to be setting an ending date because it's long term. Hopefully it's forever. Hopefully you're going to be maintaining your weight for the rest of your life. What you need to do instead is to set an action weight. So you're not setting an end date, but you need to set an action weight. You need to say, you know, don't say like, okay, if I hit 135 pounds, you know, I'm going to freak out, or 155 pounds or 185 pounds, I'm going to freak out. Pick whatever your goal weight is, pick a number that if you're off of that number, that you go, oh, whoa, something's going on, you know, and don't make it too high. Like my original action weight was 5 pounds. Well, by the time I get to be 5 pounds over goal, it's really hard. You know how hard it was. Any of you that have lost your weight, that have lost all of your weight, whether you've done it once, twice, thrice, forever, whatever, you know that last 5 to 7 pounds is like, oh, it is impossible. Not impossible. Just kidding. I didn't mean to say impossible. It is so hard to get off. So my old action weight used to be 5 pounds. My new action weight, 3 pounds. 3 pounds. So if I creep up to 3 pounds over goal, I go, whoa. We got to get back on track here, sister. We got to go back to week 1. We got to get our index cards back out, you know, or something. Still track. I still track. I've been at goal, or I've been on maintenance since December of 2014, whether I'm at goal or not. I still have to track. I have to track. I do when you're at goal, when I'm at goal and when I'm within my 3 pounds, I do switch it back to maintenance. I do switch it back just to the healthy eating. I am over because of the situation, you know, with my dad and, you know, and everybody. Hello, Tara. Situation with my dad and everything, you know, and I just decided to go on, you know, midterm maintenance. But I am over goal, so I've switched it back to the weight loss one. But I would switch it to that because it's going to automatically put in the 5 extra points for you a day. You're still going to get your weeklies. It's still going to roll over. It still does, you know, everything just like that. When you first go on maintenance, the scariest thing is to try not to lose weight. It's so weird because I accidentally lost because I was scared to go on maintenance, so I accidentally lost like 5 more pounds. You know, that's the weirdest feeling. Do still weigh in. Go to your meetings, go to your workshops, come here, stay online, stay in your groups, stay on Connect, stay. And if you're having trouble, you know what? Where better to go? So if you're struggling, if you know, like if you've hit 4 pounds and your action weight was 3 pounds, what better place to go than to your workshop or to here? Because we get it. There's nobody else on the planet that you can go talk to. You can't go tell your doctor because your doctor's going to go, I told you should have lost weight. You can't go tell your mother-in-law because she's going to say the same thing. You can't go tell your boss because he or she's not going to care, most likely, unless I'm your boss. But you know what I mean? Come here, go to your workshop. There are people every single week who come back to our workshop that are embarrassed because they gained their weight back. Guess what? Done it 5 times. 5 times. Yeah, no better safe place to go if you're struggling than there. Do stay on Connect. Do still connect with people. Do stay in touch. I do celebrate. I do recommend weighing in. Yeah, good or bad. Good, bad, or ugly. Weigh in. You know what? Not weighing in doesn't change your weight. Just doesn't change it. And it just really helps me to keep, you know, focused. And thank you, Betty and Mary. I'm glad it's helpful. And you're going to have to find some other milestones to celebrate. So that is the weirdest feeling when you get to goal. Everybody's like, yeah, you did it. You're at goal, you know, way to go. And then the next week they say, well, how much did you lose? And you go, oh, well, nothing because I'm at goal. And they go, oh, okay. And then the next week, well, how'd you do? I stayed the same. Then the next week, how'd you do? Handful of people. I stayed the same. Oh, okay, okay, okay. You know, and people just, they stop asking. They stop asking, and then you're like, oh, there's nothing to celebrate. There's lots of things to celebrate. Like, I celebrate the fact that my Apple Watch never have to go above the 4th little thing. I celebrate that. Every time I click it, I think, yes, you know, did not have to go to the 5th one on there. And Susie says, I'm always worried that I'll sound negative if I confess that I'm struggling. But Susie, if you're confessing to us, that's not negative. That's what we're here for. Now, I will say there are other groups that, Lord have mercy, seriously, Lord have mercy on them. I wouldn't say anything good or bad because I've said good things and gotten jumped before. So, but our group, that's why our group is a safe place to go. That's why our group is a safe place to go, because you can come tell us. We know, we've all been there. We know it, we've done it. But find some other milestone, you know, like you're into your whatever size jeans, or Christy has her shorts, her teeny, my Christy has her teeny tiny shorts that she's wearing now, you know, so she needs to celebrate. Every time she sticks her little thin legs into those little tiny shorts and buttons them up, that needs to be a celebration. Needs to be a celebration. Okay, so we've got voluntary and involuntary. Everybody gets that, right? And you're exactly right, Pam. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. And if you think you are, you got to get in our group. So everybody understands voluntary versus involuntary. And this is one I will try to type up because it's a lot of words. It's a whole lot. It's a lot of words. There's short term, midterm, and long term. You need to make an emergency plan. You don't know. I'm not wishing anything bad. I'm wishing all exciting things for you, but you never know. So you need to have your emergency plan. I do want to show you real quick, this is totally off topic, completely off topic, but I wanted to show you while you all are just absorbing that, just digesting that for just a second. The bowls that I got at Big Lots, people were asking how big they are, and I want to take this moment to show you how big they are. So this is a, let's see, Cheryl calls this a half bowl. I was calling it the little, you know, thin bowls, whatever, the little short bowls. Look at these, so cute. If you have a Big Lots, $3, and this is what everybody's making those really cool deconstructed salads in. Okay, I know that was totally off the subject, but I forgot to show those to you all earlier. Okay, because I had gone to Big Lots yesterday. Okay, so everybody knows what their homework is, right? And let's see, Melissa says, I want to know people who have done this struggle because that means I am on the right track. Hello, hello, hello. Me, if nobody else. I promise there are other people here, but if no one else, me. Yes, again, six-time repeat offender, and I still struggle. I still have to track every single day. I am on my WW app every single day. And Debbie, is that a spaghetti bowl? Okay, I've never had a little shallow bowl like that, but anyway, okay, so y'all know what your homework is. Your homework makes more sense now, right? Because your homework was when or why you'll choose to maintain your weight. So yeah, Kim, we all are. You never get over this. This is not something that you get cured of. But staying here with us is like getting your booster shot. It's like getting your booster shot. Yeah, you're gonna be great. You're gonna be great. So this will make so much more sense now. Your homework. So your homework was when or why I'll choose to maintain my weight. I think if you make your emergency action plan, I'm going to consider that planning when you will choose to maintain your weight, because then you'll be ready for when it happens. How long you're going to aim to maintain. Debbie, Orlando Debbie. Yeah, we all are. All of us together. So we're all struggling together. How long I'll aim to maintain. So if you can plan it, go ahead and name that. Go ahead and make your emergency short-term, plan, and then a behavior that will help you to succeed. So if your behavior is to plan one of those little bags, if it's to plan one of those emergency bags, if it's to have stuff stocked in your refrigerator, if it's to go ahead and look on your app, if your plan is to go ahead and look on your change your app to the healthy eating, or the healthy eating only. Focus on healthy habits. If you're going to go ahead and change that, or if you're going to go ahead and go on your app, if you're going to go down here to, to restaurants, and you're going to go look at by smart points, and you're going to go ahead and make that list, that counts. That counts. And Debbie, I know, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry with your job issues. I know, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, and I don't know what to tell you to do about that. All I can say is this last 2.5 months has stunk to high heavens. But you know what? It got better. So it always gets better. So anyway, you know what your homework is. Do it. Do your homework so you can get your Bravo stickers. Let me see if Dusty wants to say goodnight. Dusty? He's like, well, I was taking a nap. I was already saying goodnight. Don't forget, it is cherry season. I highly recommend them. Oh, come here, buddy. Ugh. But do your homework. Everybody have a great week. I hope you will go to a workshop this week. And if you're struggling, I hope you will reach out to someone else who is struggling, because I know we can all do this together. Yeah, and I know you know, Debbie. But I know we can all do this together. So just take this big furry face as a you are awesome and you can do it. And y'all have a great week. And I will see you next week. Everybody stay safe tomorrow. And remember, if you're from here, happy Memorial Day tomorrow. And if you're not from the United States, happy Monday. Good night. See y'all later. Oh, don't forget to subscribe. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like wherever like is. And don't forget to subscribe, and right down here is the Spreadshirt thing if you're watching this on YouTube later. Good night, everybody.